Elite Facts presents These Phobias Could Get You Killed.
10.
Agoraphobes have a fear of crossing streets. This, of course, makes it very difficult to live comfortably in a city. The word comes from the Greek gyros, which means turning or whirling, as the phobic avoids the whirl of the traffic. The phobia covers several categories, wherein sufferers may fear wide roads, specifically down to urban single-lane streets, and can also include fear of jaywalking or crossing anywhere on a street, even a designated intersection. This phobia is considered independent from the fear of cars.
9.
I think we can all see the merit in this disorder. The very act of ventriloquism seems particularly nasty to me. It involves a man with his hand up a doll's butt, which he then proceeds to talk to. Sufferers of Otamatone need not seek treatment. It is a perfectly valid reaction to a perfectly revolting concept. I think that is enough said on this topic.
8.
Katissaphobia is a terror of sitting down. This disorder can be sparked off by physical abuse relating to sitting on sharp or painful objects. Sometimes the sitting fear is due to some punishment in the school days, or it may be an indication of some other phobia like sitting in front of elite and influential people. Katissaphobia is characterized by sweating, heavy or short breath, and anxiety.
7.
Now, admittedly, some dinner conversations can be very awkward, but some people are so terrified of the idea of speaking to another person over dinner that they avoid dining out situations. In today's society, in which rules and formality are out the window, it is possible that the more controlled nature of a dinner party may lie partly behind this phobia.
6.
Demonaphobia is an abnormal and persistent fear of evil supernatural beings in persons who believe such beings exist and roam freely to cause harm. Those who suffer from this phobia, they become unduly anxious when discussing demons, when venturing alone into woods or a dark house, or when watching films about demonic possession and exorcism.
5.
The bizarre fear of cooking is called Phobia, which comes from the Greek word meaning a person skilled in cooking. This disorder can be debilitating and potentially lead to unhealthy eating if one lives alone. Sufferers of Phobia can feel extremely intimidated by people with skills in cooking, and this intimidation and feeling of inadequacy is probably the root cause of the disorder for many.
4.
Truffautbia is a fear of mirrors in the broad sense, or more specifically, the fear of being put into contact with the spiritual world through a mirror. Sufferers experience undue anxiety, even though they realize their fear is irrational. Because their fear is often grounded in superstitions, they may worry that breaking a mirror will bring bad luck, or that looking into a mirror will put them into contact with a supernatural world inside the glass.
3.
Petiophobia is the irrational fear of dolls. Not just scary dolls, all dolls. And it also usually includes robots and mannequins, which can make it decidedly difficult to go shopping. This phobia should not be confused with pedophobia or pediophobia, which is the fear of children. Sigmund Freud believed the disorder may spring from a fear of the doll coming to life, and the roboticist Masahiro Mori expanded on that theory by stating that the more human-like something becomes, the more repellent its non-human aspects appear.
2.
Truffautbia is the fear of peanut butter being stuck on the roof of your mouth and choking. This disorder seems to be a fear that is quite easily worked around. Don't buy peanut butter. However, for a child who is forced to eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches every day, one can see how it might cause severe trauma in later life.
1.
Of all the phobias on the list, Penthrophobia is probably the most common. It is the fear of one's mother-in-law. I am sure that most married people have, at one time or another, suffered from this terrible fear. This fear is one that is so common in Western society that it frequently appears in movies and other forms of entertainment. Of the many available therapies for this illness of the mind, divorce seems to be the most popular. A related phobia to Penthrophobia is Duraphobia, which is the fear of your stepmother, the most famous sufferer of which is Cinderella. Don't forget to like us and subscribe for more elite facts.